So what you will need for facial cream that we are going to create today is some beeswax, and that would be 1/4 cup, some cetyl alcohol, 1/4 cup, almond oil, also a 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup of coconut oil, a couple of drops of vitamin E, some 99.9% aloe vera gel. I get mine from Holland and Barrett, and that will be a full cup. Then you will need containers, sterilized and cleaned, and you will need a mixer, and you will need a container in which you will mix your cream. So let's get started. First of all, I've got some boiling water here, so I'm going to be melting all of the ingredients. So we just wait for this to melt. I don't have double boiler, so I'm just going to use a smaller pan to boil the ingredients in. So I'm just going to wait for this to boil and then start melting all of the ingredients slowly. So water is now at boiling point, and I'll be adding our coconut oil in here, together with the almond oil. Sterile alcohol and beeswax. Now remember, never ever, when you're melting ingredients, put these on direct heat. Always do it double boiling, because you don't want them burn, and they burn quite quickly. In fact, I might turn this down a bit just in case. And if I'll bring you closer. So that's all our ingredients in here. That should be melted in about 5 minutes. Normally beeswax melts last. And once that's done, we will put that in a container and wait for it to cool down a little bit. One tip I'm going to give you is aloe vera gel. Usually people microwave it just to warm it up a little bit, because this is the last ingredient that you're going to be adding to your oils. I would not recommend microwaving. What I'm simply going to do is submerge it in the boiling water that I've got left over and just heat it up gently for a little while, maybe a minute or so, just to bring it to the room temperature if you keep it in a fridge, or just to kind of, you know, make sure it's not totally cold, because that will prevent separation. So my oils are now in the container, and they are waiting to cool down a little bit. You don't want it to be boiling hot. With facial creams, it's entirely up to you again if you want to use fragrances or essential oils. I personally don't really recommend that. Usually I'll make them unscented. This one I'm making for my fiance, and he is probably not going to want to smell of anything after using this, so we will just leave it plain and simple. If you do choose to use essential oils, I wouldn't recommend more than 3 to 10 drops per 150 milliliters. I'm going to make just 50 milliliters today. And as I said, mine's unscented, but normally maybe 1 or 2 drops of essential oil. Lavender is really nice, and my personal favorite is grapefruit, so I use that sometimes. So now we can take our aloe mixture out carefully, and we can begin the mixing process. So gently mix the aloe vera that you've just heated. And I would recommend adding perhaps 1/4 spoon at any one time, and then mix, and then carry on in short bursts, adding it bit by bit. That's purely to make sure that everything blends in properly. So it's going to be a little bit noisy. I'm going to put you over here, and I'll mix all the ingredients together. So I've got my mixer already here. So just a tiny bit. and then put it on low. And repeat this process until all your aloe vera is incorporated. Just to show you, will start getting cloudy in colour, and that's what you want. That's slowly cooling down because of the process of mixing. So we just keep going until we are finished with all the gel. Tell you what, ideally, if you are lucky and you have KitchenAid, this will be a perfect project for KitchenAid, rather than having to do this on and off. But it's worth it at the end. A few last bits. If I use the spatula for that. Scoop out the rest of it. So the consistency is still quite runny. That's because it's still warm. We will leave this to set. If you are quite impatient, you can put it in the fridge to speed up the process. And once that's cooled down, we will be ready to put that in our container. And that's your moisturiser done. So I'll see you in a little while. And whilst we're waiting for the mixture to cool, I just wanted to say hi to all my subscribers, new and old. I know I haven't been around a very long time, but lots of things have happened since, from moving the flat to getting engaged, and we are expecting our first baby in September. So I've not really had the chance to soak very much. In addition to that, my kitchen unfortunately is all wooden top, so I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. All the floors are wooden, so you can imagine what light can do to wood. So I'm just trying to figure out where to soap and find the room and time. Also, one thing I wanted to mention is I've recently bought a couple of soaps from my fellow soap makers, so I would like to share those with you. I wanted to show you a soapy that I got from my friend Heather from Silver Crystals. She sent me a couple of soaps, but this one is all natural, handmade, Mama's Wise Natural Pine Tar soap, and let me tell you, this is the best thing ever. I originally bought it for my fiance, but I'm keeping that. It smells delicious, just like the thing that you expect it to smell of. It's really nice, very nice texture. She's got lovely labels on all her products, so I would highly recommend it. I'll leave a link below. I'm also going to show you the banana and chocolate, which isn't ready yet, so I'm just airing it out, ready for me to use. I mean, this is delicious. One of my favourite fragrances ever, banana. She's got a little bit of gold glitter on here, and look at the lovely texture of the soap. It's huge, so you check out her Etsy store for sure. I've never used Castile soap, pure olive oil, so I also bought one from Heather to trial. It's not scented. Soap is has also got a little bit of Cocos nucifera coconut milk in that, so it's nice and creamy in colour. So I'll definitely be leaving a review once I've trialed these and let you know how they perform. And another one of my purchases is from NicoleRoyal Creations. She's got a lovely leaflet that she included in her packaging with a little bit of information about her shop, which is in Italy. I just wish I spoke Italian, so that's something I probably, you know, in future might read. And she has also sent me a castile soap, which is lovely packed. And it's pure castile, so it's got just olive oil in it. So I will probably have a look at later date and see how these two performed. And another thing that I bought just for myself is, how beautiful is this? Look, this is a piped soap that comes with a little pot, so it's just a decorative thing. It smells of raspberries, strawberries, very fruity, beautiful, with a little bit of glitter, very girly. So that's going in my bathroom. And another thing that I'm not going to be able to use because it's just too pretty to destroy is this little cupcake. So if any of your friends, or you know, you has birthdays coming up, or you just want to make little party bags, that's definitely something that you should include in there. Again, that comes with a little plate, and I just think it's really cute. So that one smells really fresh. I forgot what the fragrance is, but it's really nice and creamy. And she packed it all so beautifully in a little box as well for me, which I'm, you know, just love it. I'm going to keep all the hair bows in there, but she included a little hair bow for our little baby girl that she made herself. And she has another shop with little accessories for girls. So check her out. I'll leave the link below. So that's all from me really on an update. I would love to do more soaping in future. I will try to see how it goes. I'm sure I'm probably not going to have much time with a newborn, but we will see. So that's it, and I'll go and check on our mix. So this is now thick and creamy. That's how it should be. With facial moisturisers, one thing I would say is if it's not thick enough for you, then add a little bit more beeswax. And if it's too thick, then add a little bit more liquid oils. But generally, once it's mixed up, it shouldn't really be reheated because it might separate. So I wouldn't recommend that. But as it's cooling down, you see there is a little bit of looseness to it. Then just melt a little bit more beeswax, let it cool down a bit, and then try to mix it in. So we can spoon this into a jar. And we are done. There is one that I've done before, and you can put micas in your facial creams if you would like a little tint or a little bit of colour to it. This one I've coloured with a tiny bit of pink mica, so it's slightly pink or peachy colour. Let me just open it so I can show you what the consistency is like. And that's the thin base which I use as my primer. But Aaron likes his to be quite thick, so this one's quite thin. Put a little bit on me. I really need a tripod. This is not very good. And you can see it's quite runny substance, but it isn't greasy, although it looks like it in this light. But it just goes really quickly into your skin. Perfect as a primer. So that's my one, and his one is just a little bit thicker. So if we scoop a little bit out, I can show you the difference between them two, so you can see it's quite thick, fragrance free, but also, you know, takes just a minute, maybe not even that, to get in your skin. And it's perfect moisturiser for those with sensitive skin. Trialed and tested on my family members who suffer with dry skin and have done for all their lives, and even my mum, who cannot have anything on her skin. Can't recommend this enough to people and keeps asking me for more. So I'm making a load more for her soon as well. So we just spin this in and we are done. So containers can be any container you want. I prefer the ones that are blue or darker in colour. I don't keep mine in the fridge, So this one's just going to be a clear one, but if you wanted to, then the dark ones are better if you don't keep them in the fridge, because they keep the sunlight out of them. And a spoonful of, tap it down. Any remnants. Remove any air bubbles. Clean around the edges. Just grab a